Hi everyone, welcome back for another tutorial. In this tutorial I want to show you how to use dodge and burn to retouch an image instead of just going to define shapes and the normal stuff that people tend to do with dodge and burn. And dodge and burn, there's a lot more you can do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just create a new layer. So I'll create a new layer and I'll go to edit, fill, and I want to fill with 50% gray. Click OK, change my blending mode to soft light, and there we go. Nothing happens because the 50% gray it's hidden because of the soft light blending mode. So now I have my dodge tool. I'm going to put my exposure quite low, so I'll just go for 9%. Normally I would go a bit lower, but just for the purposes of this tutorial I'm just going to 9%, and I'm selecting midtones, and project zones it's ticked on, but doesn't matter because we are working on this separate layer. If you are using on your layer or you duplicate the layer, please make sure you have project zones turned on. So here I am, so I'm going just zoom, and this is what I can see. I can see some texture right here, some wrinkles, not too many, and this is exactly what we can retouch. So I can just dodge on those areas, and I'm just using my Wacom tablet. I would advise you to use Wacom tablet, and what I'm doing is I'm dodging the darker parts of the image, in this case some of the blemishes, and you'll see in a second, and also a couple of the wrinkles as well. So I'm just brushing away very slowly, and as you can see I'm using a small brush. I'm just going to zoom in a bit closer so I can just get this done as well, like so. And as you can see it's very straightforward, and I'm going to give an example on how the skin behaves in regards to the light. So I'm just going to zoom out just a touch, and that's the before and that's the after, before and after. And as you can see, just a few more tweaks in here, like so, and like this, and we can do a full retouch. Is it a great technique? It's indeed a fantastic technique. Retains all the texture of the skin, however it takes really long time. And as you can see, that's before and that's after, before and after, very subtle. But now let's go over here so you can see a bit more what's happening. So I'll just make a nice small brush, and I'm just brushing away darker areas, like so. And as you can see I'm just brushing and brushing, and even though it doesn't look that a lot is happening, that's the thing about dodge and burn, a lot is happening actually. And that's before and that's after. So we can do a full retouching using just dodging and burning. A bit time consuming, yes indeed, but it's quite cool too. And if you want just to practice a bit your dodging and burning and know it behaves, this is a great way to do it. So just go like so, and as you can see it's looking quite cool. Sometimes you get some highlights on the texture of the skin as well, and then obviously instead of dodging you will be burning. And I'm going to give you an example on how the light behaves in a second. So that's before and this is after. It's quite cool, and retains all the texture, and as you can see very subtle, but if you spend a bit of time obviously you'll achieve a lot more. I'm just going to do a bit more right here, just so you can see a bit better. So I'm just brushing away and try to keep it on the line. I'm using a soft brush. As you can see, hardness it's at 1, well, it should be at 0, but it's no big issue. But try to use a nice and soft brush, and not a big one, because otherwise it will affect other areas that you don't want to. And that's before and that's after. And now let's just fix this area a bit. Now I'm going to just make a bit bigger, and I'll just go something like this. Now just make it a bit smaller, and I'll just get something like so, and start brushing away in these areas like this. And that's before and that's after. Before and after. And as you can see, a lot can be achieved with this effect. So now I'm going to just show you something. I'm going to just create a new document, click OK, and now I'm going to filter and filter gallery, and I'm going to show you something. Okay, we've got under the filter gallery, we've got textures, and I'm going to just select texturizer, and the texture I'm going to select sandstone, and let's add some relief so we can see what we're doing. Okay, basically this is the texture, and depending on how the light hits the texture, and let's imagine this is the skin of a person, those blemishes, those wrinkles can be more noticeable, and I'm going to show you exactly how the light can affect. And as you can see right here, we have light, and we've got coming from the top, now from the bottom left, and as you can see, it looks like the texture is changing, but it's not. It's actually just how the light is hitting the texture. And the same applies to, oops, wrong image. The same applies to how the light was hitting the skin on this lady. So as you can see, very simple, very cool, and you can even enhance. I'm just burning now a bit, just to give you a bit more of an idea, and I'm just going to burn a bit in here, yeah, and just burn the touch, something like so. And now I'm just dodging, so you'll have an idea of how much can be done. And even though it looks quite subtle, still a lot of things happening. So just go like this very quickly, because for me to be doing a full tutorial on retouching this image using dodge and burn, we would be here for a few hours. So that's before, and this is after. Before and after, and as you can see, it's quite cool. And like for instance, we've got a bit red in here on the skin. We dodge it very slightly, not too much, and still remaining the textures and the features of the person, but not as obvious, and looking quite cool. And as you can see, just going like so. I'm just going to make my brush a bit bigger, so I'll just give it a nice sweep like this. And that's before, and this is after. Before and after. As you can see, a lot can be done with dodge and burn. Use it because it's really cool. Try to work on a separate layer so you have full control, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So let's say, and well, I don't need to say because it's pretty obvious. As you can see here, it's quite a bit rough, even though I was using a nice soft brush. And what you can do is, I'm just going to reveal the back layer. It's not noticeable, but if it's too obvious, and I'm going to exaggerate now somewhere so you'll see what I mean. Let me just find a nice area. I'm just going over here, and I'm going to exaggerate, or let's go to a separate area that we didn't see. Let's say we want to bring some texture from the lips. I'm just going to burn that bit over here, and now I'm just going to exaggerate so you'll see something quite cool. So let's say this is the texture, and we overdone it. What can we do? And as you can see, we have done it. Creating a selection around that area, like so, we're using the Marquee tool or any selection tool. You can actually go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur. And as you can see, it makes it a bit more subtle. I'll click OK, and as you can see, it's not as obvious and a bit more subtle. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'm looking forward to see some cool results just using Dodge and Burn. Don't forget to check out my Facebook page, so please do subscribe, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.